And thousands of mourners are currently queuing up for hours on end to pay their respects to the late Queen Elizabeth II. The queue to see the Queen lying in state in Westminster Hall is stretching for close to 8 kilometres currently, snaking past London's Tower Bridge from Westminster Hall, where she's lying in state. And Priyanshi joining us at this point with the latest on that. Priyanshi, the queue also appears to be one of the biggest Twitter trends right now. The world seems to be divided between those who are in the queue and those who are watching that queue in utter fascination. So take us through what's happening.
Right, Ankita, there are three types of people, some who are in the queue, some who are watching the queue, and some who are talking about the queue like all of us. Let's take you through some of those reactions. Now, the queue is also one of the top trends on Twitter right now, with many people who are joking about British people's love for the queues. Let's tell you why this is happening. The Queen's closed coffin is resting inside the Westminster Hall, and people are allowed to visit the coffin and go past the coffin at the Westminster Hall. It's a very systemized queue from what you'll see in India. You'll be surprised that how orderly that queue is. When you reach the back of the queue, you'll be given a coloured and a numbered white wristband. There are also large bags that are not allowed in the queue. There's also a bag drop facility. So pretty systemized queue at that. But let's tell you what social media is saying. One user says that Americans really wonder, man, the queues at Disneyland are huge. But in response to that, you have Britain's queue. Brits really saying, hold my scone and look at my 8-kilometre queue there in London to look at the Queen's coffin. Another user says there's nothing more British than people queuing up for 2.5 miles to see the Queen, being able to track the queue online and then watching it on live stream. Another user says that now that the queue has reached capacity, is there a queue to join the queue? Fair question if you ask me. Now, one user also says that wonder how many queue babies there will be in 9 months' time, because, well, 8 hours is a lot of time to meet people, get to talk to them and make some friends. Then one user says, I went to Westminster Hall and in my opinion, it wasn't very good. There was no chance for a selfie with the coffin, no gift shop, no cafe. They won't even let you try the Imperial State crown on. And the user is pretty pissed. They say that it's a 4 on 10 rating that they're giving. One user says that the producers of the crown watching the queue and thinking how many extras they're going to need to pay for season 9. All those thousands of people in the queue that they'll have to cast. One user says that if you watch every episode of The Crown back to back, it takes 28 hours, 58 minutes, which means that if you do it in the queue and take an hour for lunch, you'll arrive at the coffin perfectly on time for the final live episode. One user says somebody also came up with an alternate option. Hang on, why don't we just drive the Queen down the length of the 5-mile queue? Job done and everyone can go home. So all of those responses, one user tweeted, and it's a question that I'm definitely asking myself. I neither understand the queue nor my fascination with the queue, yet here we are. One interesting fact is that there's a live stream of the queue map, and that live stream, Ankita, is also being watched by close to 9,000 people. So thousands in the queue and thousands watching people in the queue.
And of course, the British really pride themselves on being able to form queues, and well, they can certainly take pride in this one.